Hello? 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 What is going on here? Hello? Test. Type something in the chat. Chat. What's going on here? Uh-oh, I accidentally clicked something. Sorry, the stream, the social stream chat extension is not working. I'm trying to figure out why. Turn it off, turn it back on. Let's see if it works now. It would be nice if it worked. Oh, now it's working. Okay. This is not what I expected. This is hilarious. This is... Try opening the preview. It's working now. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome, everybody. We're going banana mode today. You know, every once in a while, I don't feel like being on camera, and I just want to be banana mode, and I think that's okay. So, today is just going to be banana Stardust. Notorious soft banana, okay? I've been having a problem where the preview chat has to be open and on top of the messages, or the messages don't update. Huh. I had to turn it off and on again. I'm confused by the filter. This is me. This is me at my true form. This is me at full power, actually. Your lips look extra dry today. Thank you. Well, I did sleep with a lip mask on, so you're wrong, but let's see here. So we're doing banana mode today. That's what we're doing. I made everybody angry. Wrong. Exactly. Exactly. You know what banana mode entails, though, right? Those of you who are old heads, old Stardust viewers, who remember when I first pulled out the banana, know that it always starts with some music, all right? Why can't you stop rage baiting on Twitter? It's a holiday. What holiday is it today? It's not a holiday. What holiday is today? Oh, it is a holiday, I guess. Well, this is the perfect holiday for rage baiting, actually. It's National Cheddar Fries Day. Banana. I don't know the lyrics to this. Banana, 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 banana. I do politics. We're just not there yet. Banana way, banana way, banana. 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 Banana way, banana. Na 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 na. Banana way, banana way, banana. Banana. I do talk, bitch. Oh, whoops. I can't show my screen. Banana. This is the current events segment. Yes, this is totally the current events segment. I have, joke's on you. I have a very detailed segment planned out for today, okay? The burnt, but I'm not burnt. I'm the soft banana. Tongue, sahurs in Fortnite. How long until Bombadiro Crocodile gets added? Bombadiro Crocodile is a little too controversial. Thank you for updating us on the Iran war. I haven't even gotten there yet. The whole world will feel it when I peak, okay? I haven't even begun to peak yet. Is that the Soviet tanks? Well, I was looking for it. I have a whole segment planned today. Banana way, banana way, banana. Wait. Whoops. What am I doing? It's not what I want. I don't know if you're peaking. Audio seems fine. Well, I don't have my filters on yet, but that's because it's the beginning intro. Can we talk about how Azria just did a copyright strike on Val while she was talking to Michelle? So basically, she struck a disabled woman. That's terrible. Azria, come talk to me, okay? You don't want to mess with a banana, Azria. What is this song? Hi, Big J. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, wait. We need to dispel one myth right now. We need to dispel one myth, okay? I was doing the banana bit before burnt peanut was ever a thing, okay? I have been doing the banana bit for years, all right? Anyways, back to this. Ay, ay, ay. Do I know this song? Oh, we know this song. Daylight come and me won't go home. 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 Day. Me say day, me say day, me say day.
A beautiful bunch, a ripe banana. Highly deadly black tarantula. Live 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot bunch. 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot bunch. Day is a day, oh.
Okay, we're just going to move forward to spaghetti again, and then we're going to get into the segments, okay? Who remembers this? Who remembers this? And then we'll get into the drama, okay? But we have one more song and then we'll get into the drama. We'll get there, we'll get there.
So that's it for today, fellas. So what are you guys having for dinner?
Oh, my wife is cooking me up a steak.
Nice. Yeah, my wife is doing the same thing. A T-bone.
Oh, I'm thinking mine's got to be a ribeye. Probably going to be a 32 ouncer today.
Sides?
Of course.
Nice. Yeah, we get creamed spinach and twice baked potatoes.
My wife will probably start things off with a shrimp cocktail and a wedge salad.
Wow. What about you, Walt? What is your wife making for you?
I'm not sure. Probably.
Better be something cooking in the kitchen when I get home. Something gourmet, or a steakhouse fillet, or a cut still on the bone. Not the usual junk she makes, like lasagna and rice and beans. I told her so many times to raise the bar on what we eat. I warned you, I don't want spaghetti again. I warned you. You overcooked the noodles, I bet. The sauce is probably just from a jar. No garlic bread for me to dip. But wait, there's more! Spaghetti was just the first course. I know you're hungry as a horse. I got the entree to turn you on. I'm cooking veal parmesan. Okay. Anyways, that good stuff, guys. Really good stuff. Okay. Right, where am I? How's it going, guys? All right. We're done with this. So let's just get into the drama. It's the usual. It's Twitter drama. I made people mad again. So today is the 20th. Yesterday was April 19th. Okay. God, I swear. See, I already have, I muted multiple things I tweeted, and I still have a ridiculous amount of notifications on Twitter. It's actually unbelievable. It's actually unbelievable. 20 plus notifications? 20 plus? All right, well. Thank you for showing me Shanny for Christ. Anyways. Okay. This is the tweet that happened, okay? This person is like a Hasan fan. This tweet happened yesterday. They said, someone needs to study. I'm glad Stardust is streaming it. I'm trying to stream like once a week, but I am trying to work on pumping out video essays as well. Problem is, like, right now I'm sorting through 6 years of content and history. So that video essay is taking longer, but I'm trying to also push out a couple other ones. So this person tweets out, someone needs to study how personal vendettas against Hasan Piker turn liberals into literal right-wing dipshits. Now, like, the issue is, no, like, anybody I know who's opposed to Hasan Piker is not a right-wing dipshit. Liberals are liberals. The unfortunate thing is Hasan, like, smears anybody who is against him as a right-winger. He has called Nicholas Diorio like a crypto-Nazi. Anyways, Hasan Piker decides to quote tweet this, right? He says, "It's easy. I have fairly modest leftist views across the board, and I'm stubborn. So if they want to oppose everything I do, they inevitably find themselves aligning with right-wing forces." Fairly leftist views. Fairly modest leftist views. So I saw this and I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about? This guy is not fairly modest leftist views. There's certain policies that I don't disagree with him on, like universal health care, right? But I don't think he should be anywhere near the Democrat Party. So naturally, as soon as I saw that, I immediately made a tweet in response, because this, let's just go there, right? Immediately, let me just pull this out. Immediately, I quote tweeted him and I said, "Your views are not modest. You're literally a tankie." And this made a lot of people angry, right? Of course it did. I think it's accurate to call Hasan a tankie. So I'm just going to make my case for why I call him a tankie. But I think it's fairly easy to see why. Okay? Now, the one issue I ran into with this tweet is that there are a lot of Hasan fans who were replying to me who didn't know what a tankie was. Okay? Let me explain. Okay? Just a second. Image. Okay, what's a tankie? You may be asking me, Star, what's a tankie? Okay. So, tankie generally refers to, like, socialists and communists who support authoritarian regimes, right? You've got people like Vosh who, despite his flaws, he's not an authoritarian. From what I can tell, he's like, not like that. He's like pro-electoralism, whatever. So the tankie term originated in the 1950s within the Communist Party of Great Britain. When the Soviet Union sent tanks into Budapest to crush a popular uprising against the pro-Soviet government, the communist movement split. Those who supported the Soviet military intervention were called tankies by other communists. They were essentially people who believed that tanks were necessary to preserve the socialist state, even if it meant suppressing workers. The modern definition of tankie, it generally refers to a specific brand of internet leftists. You can identify them by one of three traits, okay? The first one is authoritarian apologism. They tend to defend or downplay the human rights records of states like the Soviet Union, Mao-era China, modern China, and or North Korea. I think we can find plenty of this with Hasan, but we'll get there, okay? Then the second trait is campism. They believe the US and NATO are primary imperialist villains of the world. Therefore, any country that opposes the U.S., even if that country is an autocracy, for example, Iran, is seen as anti-imperialist and worth defending. And then rejection of liberal democracy. They view Western concepts of human rights or democracy as purely capitalist tools used to undermine socialist projects. So I think these 3 traits we can very easily find in Hasan Piker. I think calling him a tankie and calling him a campist is very, very reasonable. I think it makes a lot of sense. Yes, there are going to be some tankies who are like, because there's some Marxists and Marxist-Leninists who now who have adopted the word tankie, who like identify as tankies. Yes, there are going to be some of them who are like, oh, Hasan Piker isn't a tankie. Sure, they can try to claim that, but as far as I can tell, the far left that falls into that sphere, they're all like, we had a term for it, Highlander leftists. There can only be one. There's immense purity testing. It's just like a complete spiral. They spiral with their purity testing. They can't ever get anything achieved because they're always competing who is the most leftist, who is the most extreme tanky, basically. So generally, among leftists, the ones that don't claim the tanky label, they use the word tanky to distance themselves from authoritarians. They use it to say, basically, I want healthcare and worker rights, but I don't want a gulag or a dictator. That's very different from Hasan, who has said and endorsed re-education camps in the past, right? Some conservatives use tanky as a catch-all insult for anyone with far-left views. I am not a conservative. I am a liberal, maybe a neoliberal. But this is very inaccurate, obviously for the conservatives to do, because many far leftists hate tankies, and so do liberals, right? Because tankies are like the bane of my existence. So, is Hasan Piker a tankie? Is he a tankie? I'm going to say yes, okay? He just supports any non-Western power. If the U.S. government does something wrong, he will frame it as worse. If China, USSR, etc. does something wrong, he sweeps it like clockwork. Yeah, that's basically a campist belief, right? Hasan Piker went to China this past year and defended the Chinese government against Western criticism. You guys will remember when he got the little red book. He was so excited. Hasan geeks out after receiving Mao Zedong's infamous Little Red Book.
What is this? Hey, what's going on?
No problem, chat.
Oh, no way! It's a small one.
It's the first version.
It's the first. Wait.
Really?
Is that a Bible?
No, that's the Little Red Book.
It is basically.
Yeah.
The Little Red Book?
The Little Red Book. It's the Red Bible is what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's remind you guys, what does Hasan say about Loanerbox? Frequently he says that Loanerbox was paid by Israel to go on a propaganda tour through Israel, despite the fact that Loanerbox has been pretty critical of Israel. Loanerbox went and visited the West Bank. He was even like held hostage by a settler in the West Bank. No. Hasan Piker actually went on a propaganda tour to China, is literally geeking out over getting the Little Red Book.
Some may say more important than the Bible. Some may.
Especially over here.
Yep.
Yeah, I know. That's crazy. Okay, these were incredible. Well, they weren't very rare at the time, but this is a red book. Okay, quotations from the chairman Mao Zedong, and this is an English version from this is, I guess, from 1966. Okay, so initially they actually started printing these. I mean, there were so many that they printed of these, and I think by this point they did not want the English versions to be printed. So they tried to secure all the copies back. They were trying to get as many of the copies of the English versions back as possible. And this is really, really special. Thank you. That's crazy. But
Yeah, Dreamer, we will.
What? Zulu, thank you so much. This is incredible. Wow. This is literally what I talked about on the stream like the first day. I was like, I want one of the English copies of the OG Red Book. I actually want to get
So you know both.
if it's even possible, I want to get like if we can find it here, one of the early
Okay, I've seen enough. There's this. Let's see. Let's see. Hasan Piker gets Taiwan perfectly backwards. So, oh, right. Before we get to this one, there's, like, I'm all about understanding China and the Chinese population and all of that, right? But, like, he just does straight up propaganda for the CCP. During his trip to China, he appeared on CGTN, where he stated he wanted to debunk rumors about China and suggested the U.S. should emulate aspects of the Chinese system.
Let me ask you, why you talk positive about China so much in your live streams?
because I think that uplifting 800 million people out of extreme poverty is an incredibly impressive feat. Being able to develop this country in the aftermath of colonial extraction, World War II, infighting, and Civil War, and to become a competitive force that is slated to overtake America in a multipolar world is very impressive. And I think we should learn from that in the United States of America. We should look to that and learn some lessons from that. And that's the...
I mean, he's not necessarily wrong. It is impressive to lift a bunch of people out of poverty, right? But so is the United States. And I just think it's very, very ironic that he literally went on CGTN, which is China Global Television Network, which he went on to help China, like the CCP, an authoritarian regime, spread their propaganda, you know? Like, there's no, it's very transparent what he's doing. Meanwhile, he accuses everybody else who opposes him of being paid by Israel. Which in itself is like incredibly problematic. We can look at his stance on Taiwan. When he was debating Ethan on Taiwan, he compared Taiwan to the Confederacy during the American Civil War, which is insane. We've got the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Hasan basically mocked the idea that Russia would actually invade Ukraine, despite, you know, U.S. intelligence saying it would. And he claimed that the U.S. was just like warmongering. And then, you know, I've never seen such an incredible L, by the way. Like, it just, he was claiming that it was just fake, it was warmongering, it wasn't going to happen. Then it happened. He was, in the beginning of the Russia-Ukraine war, was watching Russian state television to get his news on it. On the annexation of Crimea, let's just take a look at that. The annexation of Crimea.
Part of Russian territory. You call Crimea? I call it a part of Russian territory, bitch. That's what I call Crimea. I call it Crimea River, a Russian river. Russia's historic access into the Black Sea, Crimea, that's like historically fucking... You call Crimea? I call it a part...
So, that's cool. Just like, let's back up any imperialist regime that isn't the United States. That's cool. Campism and anti-Americanism. Hasan believes that the U.S. is an imperial power, and any nation opposing it, aka China, Russia, Iran, etc., is inherently more anti-imperialist or justified. Hasan called Dylan Burns a war tourist after Dylan interviewed Ukrainians and called out Hasan. That was wonderful, by the way. I loved seeing that. Hasan got so mad at Dylan Burns for interviewing Ukrainians, and all of them had so much to say about Hasan. Oh my God, Hasan was so fucking mad. Yeah, he is actually just terrible. Here's a tweet of him saying that North Korea is a direct victim of U.S. imperialism. Ironic, since DPRK is, as a matter of historical fact, a direct victim of U.S. imperialism. So while this person has a rose-colored view, she is still close to reality on that acknowledgement alone than every single American who thinks they pull trains and eat rat shit for breakfast. There was a famine in North Korea where people were eating rats. So North Korea is actually a beautiful socialist country with free housing and healthcare that's been battling U.S. imperialism for decades and not the horrible dictatorship the West has told you it is. Like, it's just, like, what? Here is Hasan talking about U.S. imperialism versus Iran. How should the people of Iran change their corrupt and radical government when they just kill them without a second thought? Foreign intervention is necessary since the UN and human rights orgs are less than useless. There's no more galvanizing and radicalizing force than unfettered U.S. imperialism. Iranians who are in opposition to the current government will now deal with U.S. empire instead. When people try to justify U.S. military intervention by claiming that these countries are not progressive, remind them that imperialism plays a big role in keeping countries conservative.
People, especially in the youth, maybe it's because I have a better understanding of what goes on in these sorts of nations, considering that I am from a predominantly Muslim nation where I'm more progressive than 99.9% of the population there. And I understand that Turkey and Iran and Iraq are not a monolith, and there are progressive people, especially in the youth, that fight against their governments every single day. There are gay people, trans people in these countries that are fighting against their governments every single day. But when the United States comes down and rains hellfire upon these nations, it makes it infinitely more difficult to fight our own government, because we're now fucking busy fighting back against a very clear evil enemy, and that is the U.S. empire. And that's precisely why I get angry, and that's precisely why I'm very passionate about American.
Okay, when the, let's say the U.S., like, there are cases where the U.S. is not, like, all the U.S. does is provide help to oppressed groups within different, like, countries, right? They're not, like, taking over the country, they're just providing aid, right? How is that, like, in what way are you fighting U.S. imperialism? Like, that should enable you to fight the authoritarian regime you're fighting even more, right? I mean, there's a reason why the Kurds welcome American aid, right? They're, like, there's don't get me wrong, like, I don't agree with the U.S. like getting involved in every single conflict in the world, but there is a reason why you'll find minority groups all over the world find themselves, like, in alignment with the United States. Working conditions in China are infamously poor. Cheap labor is what makes outsourcing manufacturing to China so attractive to U.S. businesses. Yeah, and he's using Ben Norton as a source here. America is bad. There's a mountain of evidence as to why. We live in a world where the U.S. is a hegemonic power. It makes tremendous amounts of violence and coercion. It takes tremendous amounts of violence and coercion to get there and keep that power. You think that's good. I think that's bad, and America should change its ways. Unfortunately, we live in a world where, like, the person with the biggest stick basically gets the power. And if you think that China and Russia didn't do these exact same things to get where they are, you're sorely wrong. Any nation really in the world that exists has done these things. Some of them are more effective than others, but it's an unfortunate fact of human nature and just nature itself that the weak get dominated, right? And for once in history, America is a country full of different minority groups of women, which, by the way, gives more rights to women and minority groups than any other country in the world. And for once in history, the country that does that for, these minority groups, although it's not perfect, has the big stick, right? I'm not opposed to the one group that defends the rights of minority groups having the big stick and enforcing, you know what, maybe there are some standards for human rights we should have in the world, you know? Like any country that exists has a history of doing, you know, using violence and coercion. This is the history of the world. So, I mean, this is just, again, it's just campus stuff, right? The United States is not uniquely more bad than any other country that exists. If anything, at least we have human rights. Okay, let's not forget how much Hasan lies about people he views as enemies. And his entire ecosystem is very effective at reinforcing these lies. So here he is, most recently lying about Swan Marcus. Guy who wrote how-to articles about sex tourism in Asia, fantasizing about mechanics in the Rust Belt like they're savages who'd hate M4A, free college, and holding Israel accountable. Buddy, you're in for a wild ride if you ever go outside. such a miss here. Like, yeah. Such a miss here. I mean, okay, I think I've presented enough evidence here that Hasan is a tankie. He basically backs up China and the CCP. He backs up Russia. He believes that America and NATO are like imperialist forces, that America is uniquely bad. And he defends imperialism as long as it's done by Russia or China. I mean, these are like very tanky characteristics. He engages in historical revisionism. I mean, he was just at Yale saying that like the fall of the Soviet Union was a bad thing. Yeah, I think I've made my case for why he's a tankie. And other tankies who adopt the word tankie, they might disagree with me. But again, these are the types of people who are always fighting to be like the most tanky person. I mean, him defending Iran, right? Defending Iran is insane. Actually insane. Okay, here's another one. Hasan doing authoritarian apology after lying about Loanerbox doing a paid Israeli propaganda tour.
We say, oh, yeah, there's a lot of propaganda. It's funny that thing he's saying as well. We say, oh, yeah, there's a lot of propaganda out there. There's a lot of people who want to f us up. You know, people are on edge. That's really similar to what the security guy in Israel told me in the airport. But that was a security interview, right? A 1.5 hour wait for the passport processing, whatever the background check probably, and then half an hour interviewing with the guy. They were saying, like, the guy was like, oh yeah, we have to do this because, you know, like there's a lot of threats where you know, there's a war going on. There's obviously a lot of people who want to do bad things. They got like, okay, whatever, kind of annoying, but you do you. In that country, I was actually still allowed to go to a Nakba site and film it and say, oh yeah, this is where the Deir Yassin massacre happened, because I did that. I was able to go on into the West Bank and to talk about, oh yeah, there was a settler riot over here, or there are some bullets casings here left by settlers, or there's an IDF operation here that set fire to a fruit market. I was able to do all that and publish it on Twitter. Like, but you're running defense for a regime that did what to you? For doing what? Where? Like, yeah, dude.
Having a field day with this. Oh, Loanerbox is probably having a field day with this. I just realized Loanerbox is probably having a field day with this whole China thing, because the thing that everybody accused him of doing with Israel, which is like some paid propaganda, social credit, fucking nonsense with Israel, Hasan is literally doing with China. Like, Hasan said, oh yeah, didn't you get paid to do like pays Hasbara in Israel? No, he didn't. But now Hasan is literally having like his shit come through. He probably has a bug inside of his hotel room, all this shit. going on talking about, oh, China's better than America. China's better than America. Like, bro, this shit.
Just insane. Okay. Hasan denies racist intent when chatter calls him out for being anti-Indian.
Does not shower. He is dirty and does not shower. I'm sick and tired of this anti-Indian racism. Why is your comment for Muda that he does not shower? Come on. Dude, he literally has stains on his shirt. Like while he was doing this video. What the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, dude, I'm secretly doing anti-Indian racism. That's not my only comment on Mudahar. The fuck are you talking about? Did you not hear half of the commentary from Noah or him literally reading my comments against Mudahar? The fuck are you talking about? This is unironically the example, the example that I was maintaining, like right here. This is it. Guy comes in, doesn't hear a fucking thing I said, immediately grabs on to something and just basically fucking angles it in the most cynical way possible.
Okay.
Forms understand that, you know, highlighting illegal criminal organizations, they don't even have to be terrorists. They can be literal criminal gangs. Like, you know, if you're out there promoting the Hells Angels or you're promoting the Mexican drug cartels, you would probably get a serious ban.
You missed his exit. Allah Akbar means.
But in this situation, Twitch's largest political streamer, left-wing political streamer, can just fucking out.
Clean your fucking shirt, man. What the fuck is this disrespectful ass bullshit, by the way? Jesus Christ, you're like spitting all over yourself while you're fucking doing this commentary? How fucking gross. Oh my god. What a goddamn slob, dude. You got fucking cum stains on your fucking t-shirt. Talking about shit that you don't know anything about. Ugh. Bro has never watched a Vice video? I know. Spitting out fucking tonsil stones on his shirt. Jesus.
Right.
How is this a meaningful response to anything that Mudahar was saying in his video?
Is dirty and does not shower. I'm sick and tired of this anti-Indian racism. Why is your comment for Muda that he does not?
Sorry,
you know,
just say.
Promote this kind of stuff on the platform. And it's not even just that.
Anyways, it's just like, okay, fine. If this wasn't anti-Indian, maybe it wasn't, but like, why are you?
Forms understand that, you know,
you're claiming that your commentary is meaningful criticism of Mudahar. It's clearly not. You know, it's clearly not. You know, and Mudahar has every right to be mad at Noah Samson. Noah Samson's smearing of Mudahar made him have to change the mosque he has to go to, you know? And that was pretty important. Anyways. So then I quote tweeted Hasan again. I said, modest leftist views equals tankie who frequently engages in historical revisionism at its worst, distorts the truth to his needs at best, while smearing anyone who doesn't align with him 95% as right-wing and paid by Israel. So anyways, you guys know I like to argue with people online. I get a little bit of joy out of it. So of course I'm like going back and forth with people on Twitter over all this stuff. And then Matt Lieb, the guy who literally looks like if actually became like a person, right? He decided to weigh in, okay? He decided to weigh in when I was talking about universal health care. Like somebody was like, oh, universal healthcare is like the literal bare minimum for any sort of left party, and establishment Democrats don't even want that. Lamau, they're a right-wing party. I was getting back and forth with this Georgie Porgy guy, which he's just completely wrong. Plenty of Dems support universal healthcare. I'm personally pro M4A, or at the very least pro public option. That's not why he's a tankie. And like these people forget that Hillary Clinton was hugely pro universal healthcare. Anyways, so yeah, Matt Lieb, actually, if he became like if that phrase became a person, that would be Matt Lieb, okay? Just immediately negotiating down to pro-M4A position to a pro-M4A position to a pro-public option position, LOL. Centrists can't even imagine stuff without conceding to the right wing. How is pro-public option conceding to the right wing? The right is opposed to pro-public option. Pro-public option is a step in the right direction. It is a version of universal health care. It's, you have universal health care if people choose it, and you have private options if they choose it. And if you really make that public option robust enough, nobody's going to choose to go with a private insurance. Like, these guys are like spoiled brats. They want everything or nothing for everyone else. It's immensely selfish, and it's very unrealistic. And we could learn from Hillary Clinton, who back when she was first lady was fighting for universal health care, and she got raked across the coals for it. It didn't go through because Congress wouldn't vote it in. And so in response to this, I asked him, hey, can we get a response on this, Mr. Lieb? Basically, where Matt Lieb lied about ContraPoints. I hope Trump doesn't attempt a genocide in Cuba, because then you'd have to wait 2 years to say a single word about it. ContraPoints tweeted this 10 days after October 7th. This is the language of a racist genocide. There's no situation where this rhetoric is justifiable. And so he's just lying about ContraPoints and her stance on the Israel-Palestine stuff. He's just an insane fucking idiot. An absolute moron. And I quote tweeted him. I said, like, where is it? It's called incrementalism. It's not perfect, but it has worked in the past. Just because I'm not a spoiled brat like you, who demands I get everything or I'm going to throw a tantrum and ruin it for everyone else, doesn't mean I'm conceding to the right, you absolute moron. Think about people who don't have the leisure of doing the give me it all or I want nothing like you, and get absolutely fucked when we give them no options. So then, of course, Mike from PA gets involved. The guy who, by the way, was a Republican before he decided to become a streamer. One of the things about liberal influencers, this one especially dumb because they are a destiny orbiter, is that they don't engage with public policy debate with any level of intelligence or empirical work. They just repeat the same aggravating drivel. They're stupid. Does Mike from PA have any brain cells? So, yeah, these people criticized the Dems for not implementing universal health care, despite the fact that Hillary Clinton, again, she pushed for it when she was first lady and got absolutely raked over the coals for it. She endured a 40-year hit, like a hit campaign, a character assassination campaign against her from the Republicans. She has tried to achieve universal health care in like 3 separate times, and she's objectively done more than to achieve it than any of these people's heroes have. Okay, any of these guys' political heroes, they have not done nearly the same amount of work that Hillary Clinton has, and they still would never ever back her up. A public option is a version of universal health care. It just is, you know. Everyone has the option to be part of the public option or buy private insurance. And again, if we build it to be really robust, nobody will want to use the private version. So incrementalism has worked in history, in the United States history. We've got the Civil Rights Movement, we've got the Social Security Act, we've got the Affordable Care Act. These are all examples of incrementalism towards a goal. But anyways, like, these people are absolute morons. They're idiots, you know? So yeah, I did subtweet Mike because he blocked me. And he blocked me years ago because I hosted a couch punching competition in my community where everybody pretended to, like, everybody took practiced punching couches and recorded themselves doing it, and we all voted on who did it the best. Because you guys may remember Mike punched a couch and it was like a big deal. Mike from PA, couch. Where is the video of him doing that? He was getting mad at like Bad Bunny. That was her name back then. Because she kept trash talking him and he punched a couch.
Sounds like he's just coping about the situation because Bad Bunny immediately starts to ask him why he's talking the way he is and how it has any relevance to the situation at hand.
What's to do with anything you just said with the car door stuff? But the thing about me is I'm not lukewarm with people. What does that have to do with what you were saying to Lucid?
And then she goes in for the kill and reads out from her chat, Mike's just dumb, bro.
Mike's just dumb.
And that's what makes him snap.
See? That's him. There it is. He punched the couch.
Couch now move. You hit the couch.
And immediately he backs off. He can't even stand up for himself and just admit that he let some anger out. He can't admit to himself that he spent all this time courting one of the most narcissistic, rage-inducing people to exist. And it's just so sad to see. Bad Bunny clearly understands that Mike has no backbone, and she's just pushing him for fun. Mike is seemingly completely incapable of just calling her a bitch and walking away from it. I found some more footage from the trip they took together to add some context to why this all happened. And I'll give you a warning, this level of bullying is actually pretty hard to watch.
Mike is paying for all my drinks and meals and, what else? Ubers this weekend. So far, you've really done not pulled your weight at all. You got me a salad, like 2 donations or something to Humane Society to get drinks for me. So it's $10 whopping dollars. And that's the only things you spent on me this weekend. He's an idiot. He's an actual idiot. Like, I was trying to get ready in like today, and he kept like standing in the bathroom blocking me. I'm like, can you move? He's like, I just want to hang out with you. Can you stop walking in my space? From now on, I need you to use 1 arm's length away from me. Put your arm out. If you can touch me, you're too close to me. Why are you yelling? You're not even 1 arm's length away from me. Put your arm out. If you can touch me, you're too close. Funny, are you really tall or is Mike really short? It's a little of both. So he is kind of a manlet, as you can see, but I'm 5'6.5". He also, what's telling is he claims to be 5'9". In person, stop it. He claims to be 5'9". On his license, it's like he's 5'8". And in person, he's just 5'7". So like he's just constantly trying to like lie about his height. Padding my height? Yeah. How about idiot. Anyways.
Yeah, good old Mike from PA. But yeah, I think we should stop just characterizing Hasan as a leftist, because there are plenty of leftists who aren't tankies, who aren't historical revisionists, who just believe in leftist policies, right? And while I may not be like 100% aligned with them, I'm more of like center left. I think these are people who have good intentions in their hearts, right? People like Hasan do not have good intentions in their hearts. If Trump wins, it's not really a big deal for Hasan. If anything, he gets a fucking tax break. He doesn't give a fuck if more people suffer, like way more under a Trump presidency than they would have under a Kamala Harris presidency. I mean, like we can watch, there was like a interview he did recently where they were asking him who he would vote for, and the only person he said he would vote for in the Democrat Party was AOC, and then the one person he said maybe was John Ossoff. What's the difference between John Ossoff and Kamala Harris? What's the difference between any of these people and Kamala Harris, meaningfully? You know? Does he really think AOC would be that different from Kamala Harris? They're like allied now, AOC and Kamala Harris. Like, I just don't know. Like, he is like a bane to Democrats. Nobody should welcome him. We should call him what he is. He is a campus and he is a tankie, and he believes that the Soviet Union falling was a bad thing, and he thinks that the CCP is not as bad as the American imperialism or whatever. He thinks that Russia doing imperialism is not that bad. As long as he's admitted that his foreign policy thoughts are, if it's a government and they're opposed to the United States, then he's on their side. Hasan is also an anti-Semite. Yeah, but you know what? Nobody cares, apparently. Nobody cares that he's an anti-Semite, because apparently anti-Semitism is like super, super popular right now. It's just really, you know what's really blackpilling to me was seeing that, like, him and his little group of friends were so blatantly rubbing things in Ethan Klein's face. His little crew of people. I mean, he had 10 swords in his room, and they chose the one with the swastika on it. Like, you cannot tell me that you're not trying to bait Ethan. Like, you are trying to be anti-Semitic. And what's really blackpilling is, like, there are all these instances where we can, like, say that this dude is just objectively a bad person for the way that he views, you know, Jewish people, the way that he talks about Israelis, the way he talks about the conflict, the way he talks about Iran and the Iranian regime. None of it matters. None of it matters nearly as much as the fact that he shocked his dog. Which, like, it's bad he shocked his dog, but, like, that was the turning point for people. That was the one. Yeah, Hasan repeating the lie that the oldest Jewish contiguous population in the world left in Iraq left because of Mossad is Nazi shit. Yeah, it is. It is. What? One bombing at one synagogue made the entirety of the Jewish population in Iraq that had been there for thousands of years leave? I don't think so. Like, the history shows that, like, the Iraqi government had been treating their Jewish population horribly, and that they had been preventing them from leaving, and then finally they let them leave, you know? No, one bombing at a synagogue is not enough to make this massive population of Jewish people in Iraq leave. It was like the history shows that the Iraqi government was treating them terribly. The entire world failed like the Jewish people. The entire world, you know? And, like, people can say, like, they can look at the Israel-Palestine conflict now and be like, oh, like, well, okay, maybe the Jews didn't have anywhere else to go. Maybe that's true. But, like, did they really have to, like, establish their own little state there? Well, I mean, you know, you had all of these Arab groups around them that were very opposed to them even being there. You had every country in Europe who had barred entry for Jewish people post-Holocaust. Like, you know, after the Holocaust, some of the Jewish refugees went back to Poland, and like 1,000 Jews died because of a pogrom. yeah, I like, it's just, you know, and it like, he refuses to acknowledge history, you know, and he just repeats like the talking points of, you know, ahistorical talking points, basically, you know? The entire, I mean, like, yeah, then they had nowhere else to go. They had nowhere else to go. It's just a shitty situation all around. You know, people were sitting in refugee camps for 4 years after the Holocaust. In the United States, people don't remember the United States had barred the Johnson-Reed Act. They had barred Jewish people from coming as well. So. So yeah, like the people who got to the United States before the Johnson-Reed Act, they were lucky. They were the lucky ones. Half of the Jewish population in the world is in Israel, and they were not lucky. They were not the lucky ones. And they're there because, again, all the countries, during the rise of the Hitler regime, during the rise of nationalism in Europe, they were like, yeah, this is really bad. They had this conference, and then they were like, yeah, this is really bad, but we're not going to do anything. And they just closed their doors, all of the European countries. Already the Arab countries were being influenced by like the rise of nationalism, and they were not treating the Jews in their countries very well. And then there's the British Mandate of Palestine. And yeah, it's just a shitty situation all around, really, you know? And like, I'm a two-stater. I believe in a 2 or maybe even a 3-state solution. But I don't know. Like, the fact is that these guys like want to get clout off of the death of Palestinians and Palestinian children. They want all or nothing, and if that means more people dying, they don't care. They just really don't. And they don't care about like history at all. They'll never look at history in an honest way. They'll always distort it or justify any anti-American force or anything, really, you know? So. Why is Tim Pool is such a fucking idiot? He is hosting a live stream right now saying World War III has just begun. What an idiot. Okay, anyways. Kaylee Campbell. I hate this lady. She is so stupid. All this woman does is post about the Indian invasion of Frisco, Texas. This woman is... I think she lives in Frisco, or she lives near Frisco, Texas, and all she does is post about Indian people. And it's like, these are literally like, okay, this is the safest, the least crime committing demographic in the United States. Like, of all the demographics of every group in the United States, this group commits the least amount of crime. They have the highest median income. They are the highest, most college educated. Like, so anyways, she posted this tweet where she's like, if you wave a foreign flag, you should be deported. So I replied her, I said, including the Confederate flag, right? And she said, are you an idiot? So I replied to her, I said, are you a traitor to the United States? Like, like, I think people who wave the Confederate flag, like, if we're gonna have this rule, Kaylee, then people who wave the Confederate flag should be deported too, because they're waving a traitorous flag. It's not just a foreign flag. I mean, okay, whether it's considered a foreign flag, maybe that's debatable, but it is a traitor flag. The Confederates were traitors. They were trying to secede. They were trying to leave the United States. They're traitors, and you shouldn't be allowed to, if you're gonna, first off, the tweet is stupid in itself because it's just anti-free speech, right? You can't claim to have American values if you want to deport people for waving flags. You are a fucking idiot, But if you're going to have this rule, then absolutely we should persecute people who wave the Confederate flag way harsher than people who just wave other country flags. Because the Confederate flag is uniquely bad because they're traitors. They wanted it to, you're right, Goose. They wanted it to be a foreign flag. They wanted to secede. So, I mean, they're traitors. So they should be deported. If that's Kaylee's rule, then yeah. Let's deport the people who wave the Confederate flag. You don't want to be an American. You want to be a Confederate Union member or whatever. Like, yeah. Anyways. Seceding from the United States? Yeah, it's bad. Okay. I think I'm done with my stream for today. Like, that was like my topic list. Oh, I mean, I guess we could go into YouTube drama, actually. But I don't know if I want to stream much longer. Let me see. Because there was that wonderful YouTube video made about a few of my friends where it's like the drama slop. What's it called? The drama slop to school shooter pipeline.
I guess I'm not so worried about what the audience is going to do with the information. I guess I'm not so worried about what the audience is going to do with the information because I think I have a responsible way of conveying it. And unfortunately, there are going to be some nut jobs in the audience who are going to take things a little far sometimes. I avoid that. I don't like those people. I don't support them in whatever they're going to do. I don't want anybody, having a subscribe to PewDiePie
Oh God, Crimes New Roman. Yeah.
situation in my name. But unfortunately, there are nut jobs out there that are going to, take whatever you say and run with it and misinterpret whatever it is. Yeah, it's unfortunate.
On January 22nd, 2025, a 17-year-old opened fire in the cafeteria of Antioch High School in Nashville, Tennessee. He killed one student, Jocelyn Correa Escalante, injured another, and then killed himself. His 51-page manifesto laid bare the life of an angry, abused, socially isolated teenager who wrote that he was ashamed to be black due to being immersed in accelerationist white supremacist ideology. He was affiliated with far-right cybercriminal networks like 764 and Telegram and spoke about Jews, Muslims, women, and LGBT people being targets. His manifesto, unsurprisingly, had a section listing people who influenced him, and you find usual suspects there like Candace Owens and Nick Fuentes. I wonder if he's going to come up again. But sitting right alongside the open white nationalists were names like iDubbbz, Destiny, Hasan, Piker, Ruben Sim, and Turkey Hard R Tom.
Don't do it.
N-word.
Oh, fuck.
A strange combination that I'm hoping will make more sense by the end of this video. But to me, the most interesting inclusion is that of a guy who makes videos ostensibly about internet drama because he was named explicitly as one of two primary figures who pulled the shooter into the alt-right. Also, we're not talking about Ruben Sim today, even though him and Tom are friends, and the dude sucks ass. Don't let his Roblox heroism fool you. He got banned for racism, homophobia, and harassment, and is very transphobic. Like, trust me, there's a reason why he was listed here. Anyways, Turkey lies and blames Bianca Devins for her own murder by an incel and then tries to delete the video. Tom.
And as for Bianca and what happened to her, it's obviously disgusting to say that she got what she deserved. She did not deserve to be murdered for what she did. However, is it completely unreasonable to question whether or not she contributed to the likelihood of this happening? Bianca was effectively an e-prostitute who was selling nude pictures of herself to men and leading on a number of women.
You know, I don't agree with Turkey with a lot of things that Turkey Tom says. But I do also understand that this guy is like 20, 21 and in a very different state of mind than most of us who are older, you know. But
for her own gratification, she recklessly promoted an image of herself online that attracted a pretty gross crowd of people.
Is one note in a particular web of commentary, drama recap, and reaction channels. Tom, Sensitive Society, WestJet, More Pegasus, Achido, Think Before You Sleep. There's a billion of these guys cross-referencing and reacting to each other's content like one big, incestuous, very apolitical family. Foreshadowing. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. These are just dumb guys making dumb videos about more dumb guys and dumb internet drama. They are not worth taking seriously, let alone making a video
2 hours, 16 minutes, 36 seconds
long talking about them. And to that I say, you're right about it being dumb. However, you're wrong about it being not important. That dismissal is exactly the problem, because it is the genre's primary defense mechanism.
I'm so confused. Like, how is Turkey Tom related to school shooters? Like, I don't think I've ever. am I stupid? I'm gonna be real with you guys. Like, I'm already bored. I'm already bored by this. Why aren't you putting any music in the background or something? I feel like you should be putting music in the background. Yeah, I don't know. I disagree with some of the stuff that commentary people say sometimes, but there is a wide variety of opinions within the commentary community in itself. Though I don't even know if I would consider the commentary community existent anymore. It's kind of become very fractured. And, you know, there's a section of it that is pretty cancerous, but yeah, I don't know that the iteration of it that used to exist even exists anymore. You know what I mean? Fuck. Did I miss something, chat? Did I miss how he connected school shootings to Turkey Tom? I'm just very confused right now. Is Worst of the Internet still here? I don't know that I want to watch the rest of this video. Like, I'm just very confused here. I just don't. I'm very confused. All I got was the citation of Tom in that one dude's manifesto. You know, I'm pretty sure that Turkey Tom is not okay with that. Like, he's, again, at the beginning of the video, he literally is saying, like, he doesn't like that. He thinks people are crazy, but I don't know. Unless you're like, okay, there are people who do actually advocate violence on the internet. And I don't think Turkey Tom is one of them. There are people you can directly point to who advocate for violence. Like, I think Tim Pool is way more of a offender of that than Turkey Tom is. I want to see if Hussey is on. Is Hussey on? Just want to know what this guy's tattoos are of. I just am not interested. He looks like a very boring person. I feel like I would want to end myself if I got into a conversation with him. Is there any, like, girl world stuff happening right now? I want to know. Oh. I don't know. Yeah, do you guys understand my point, though, in calling Hasan a tankie? I feel like I'm very accurate in that. think I made a decent argument as to why we should be calling him one. I don't think it's very useful for us to be just calling him a leftist, because there are plenty of leftists out there who aren't, you know, insane, but oh, dude, Tyler Oliveira, who's been on his, like, anti-Indian arc right now, got told off by a sick uncle. You know how, let's see here. Let's take a look here. Indian tries to fight me in Portugal. LOL, he literally says his job is to do agitprop and misrepresent the truth. Yeah, I mean, like, Hasan did say on that Piers Morgan episode where he was just like, I am a propagandist. I'm a propagandist. Anyways, you know how annoying and rude you have to be to manage to piss off the six?
Get away from me. Wait, why are you coming up on me? What's going on? What's going on here?
What are you doing there?
I can't walk across.
What are you doing?
Aw, poor uncles.
I can't walk across.
What are you doing?
Tyler.
Don't try to be Don't try to be smart.
I'm not trying to be smart. You're trying to be smart.
But don't touch.
All right, then get.
See, and these guys didn't even touch him. He's touching them. Oh, don't touch him. Like, do not touch the uncle.
Get away from me then.
But then put this off. Put this off.
No, I'm not
doing it. Put this off. You are going.
No, I'm not going.
You are going.
No, I'm not.
Yes.
Get away from me. Get away from me.
You are going.
All right, he's already calling the shots here. Says I'm going to start. No, leave me alone. Leave me alone.
No, I'm not
What is your
going
problem?
to. You're not
Who are
going
you?
here.
Who are you?
Sorry?
Who are you?
I'm already in the authority.
I don't care. Who are you?
No,
where are you from?
Who, I don't
where are you
care.
From? Get back up. Back up.
Whoa, you cannot be touching uncle. You cannot be touching uncle. He didn't even touch it. The uncle didn't even touch him. He's the one touching the uncle. Raid? Who's raiding me? What the fuck? Why are you a banana star? What do you mean? Okay, this is not cool. Oh, that was a good one. I shouldn't have closed that. No, I'm just a banana. Who raided? Okay, anyways.
Wait, why are you coming up on me? What's going on? What's going on here?
What are you doing there?
I can't walk across.
What are you doing?
Tyler.
Don't try to be. Don't try to be smart.
Wait, don't touch the uncles. That's like they're coming up to talk to you. That's not permission to touch them.
I'm not trying to be smart. You're trying to be.
See, he's touching him. Do not touch him.
All right, then get away from me then.
But then put this off. Put this off.
No, I'm not
Put
doing.
this off. You are going.
No, I'm not
You
going.
are going.
No.
Filming people's children. Nice one, Tyler.
Get away from me. Get away from me. All right, he's already calling the shots here. Says I'm going to start. No, leave me alone. Leave me alone.
No, I'm not
What is your
going
problem?
to. You're not
Who
going
are you?
here.
Who are you?
Sorry?
Who are you?
I'm already in the authority.
I don't care. Who are you?
No,
where are you from?
Who, I don't
where are you
care.
From? Get back up. Back up.
Whoa, what the fuck, Tyler?
Back up. Back up.
Do not push people.
You get the fuck away from me. How about that? You don't touch me. Don't touch me.
He didn't touch you. Where in the video did this uncle touch him?
You were all up in my face. Get away from me. Get the fuck away from me.
What the fuck you are talking? You don't know how to speak when you're in the.
You need to move away from me.
Sorry?
Move the fuck away.
You just get away from here.
Get away from me.
What are you doing here?
What are you doing? I'm talking to you. What is the problem?
What are you doing?
Get away from me. Get away.
What are you
What
doing?
is your problem?
What are you doing?
I'm talking to people. He's coming at me all on my chest. I'm moving him away.
Don't touch him.
But it is true. The Sikhs are like some of the nicest people, and I would not fuck with them. I really would not fuck with them. Like those dudes come, they are born fucking built. They come out of the womb with a fucking 6-pack. I would not fuck with them. Oh, who raided me? Thank you for the raid. I would not fuck with them. These damn American expats are ruining Portugal. TBH. It's not even this is just Tyler. Tyler Oliveira. He did his whole he's on his whole anti-Indian arc right now. What's the context of that video I just got here? I don't know. I exposed Texas's Indian invasion full documentary. It's like you're filming law-abiding citizens, law-abiding people. You're filming their children and their women while they're praying and while they're celebrating, and you don't expect a couple of uncles to come up and be like, hey, what are you doing, and ask you questions. You know, food shops raided? Oh, that's surprising. Thank you for the raid. You don't expect people to be like, yo, what the fuck are you doing?
Go Texas, a once quiet farm town turned home.
Literally the most law-abiding demographic in America. Most law-abiding demographic in America. I mean, you can look at the crime statistic, and it's like, what, 1.5% of the United States population and contributes 7% in tax income?
One of the largest and fastest growing Indian communities in America.
Where are you from?
India.
From India?
I'm from India.
South India.
I'm in H1B.
I'm into IT. Motherland India or Texas, USA?
Obviously, motherland India.
Obviously.
Obviously, motherland India.
I mean, some of these guys just work here for a little bit and go back, you know?
The Indian population exploded from 3% to 33% of the population since the year 2000. Many Texans are outraged, declaring there has been an Indian invasion. But how are all these Indians coming to Texas? And is Frisco the only town?
Like, what, Christians don't pray for these things? Like,
in Texas, where
you know, and people, like, again, like, these people aren't getting jobs because of DEI. If anything, DEI works against us, right? So, I mean,
Indians are seemingly spawning out of thin air. I pulled up to the Frisco Town Hall meeting to witness the clash of heritage Texans and their new Indian neighbors.
We need more or less H-1B people here?
We need a lot less.
Why?
I got laid off 20 years ago. I worked in IT. I have 2 master's degrees. I was making over $100,000 a year. They said, you're too expensive, we're going to hire Indian. But I haven't been able to find a job in IT since, and it's really sad.
you know, hiring H-1Bs apparently is not that cheaper than hiring an American. Again, I don't know all the details on this. And if, you know, there probably are some reasonable questions about the whole H-1B thing. But I would be more willing to believe that the concerns that people have over the H-1B visa stuff if it weren't clouded by racism around it, right? Like, yeah, there are some issues with H-1B. Like, there, for example, like people who are here on H-1Bs can't easily move between companies. They can't set down roots to grow. They, you know, are bound to their employers, right? And so, yeah, there are real issues with that. But, like, I'd be more willing to believe it, that these people have concerns about, like, H-1Bs and all of that, if, again, it were not clouded so much by racist rhetoric. bro lost his tech job 20 years ago and can't find another. He probably just sucks.
And you know what? I don't have another home in India. I don't have another home in Bangladesh. I don't have another home. I can't move to Somalia. I won't be able to live there. I'll die. This is my home. God.
Imagine if you just walked into a white person BBQ in the park and just started talking about how the mother of 5 is suckling at the teat of Uncle Sam and they're making the park feel like a forbidden zone. I don't know, man.
The devil would say, well, you're racist. That's racist. According to the devil's dictionary definition of the term, I am racist.
There's been a takeover.
I don't think that's a W, my dude. That's, I don't think that's a W. I don't think you're winning the argument here. I am racist. I don't know.
Over in Frisco of the Indian population and a lot of concerned citizens, and I'm leading the way asking questions. And I made this because corporations own Frisco. I'm a lifelong Texan turned T-Mobile whistleblower. I started talking about H-1B because T-Mobile uses H-1B to employ foreigners while they're laying off Americans right down the street. You know, the Indian
Well, okay, when they lay off Americans, they're laying off H-1Bs as well.
Population in Frisco has exploded 33% of the population over the past 20 years, a 4,510% increase. And you know,
I'm not going to deny that like a huge increase in a particular demographic isn't going to create alarm, for sure. For sure, it could, and it would. But again, like, I just don't believe Tyler has genuine criticisms of this if it weren't clouded so much by like the racist rhetoric, right? And him just harassing people. Like filming their filming kids and families who are minding their own business and like driving a bunch of other influencers to go there and like make their own little Indian invasion. Yeah, they're probably not going to take too kindly to that.
There might be a lot of people here that are coming here legally, but there also seems to be some red flags with the H-1B visa program. And the question is, are Indian people using that to bring people over?
So you're telling me Frisco's turning into Little Mumbai at this rate?
That's what people like to call it these days.
I'm America first. I'm pro-American.
USA.
Yeah,
USA.
Indian people are some of the most patriotic people you'll see, but
I think it's a good sign.
did you check? Yeah, sorry, let me just check real quick. Those families can get harassed due to these videos. It's also doxing as well to film them, yeah.
People whoever has done the fraud, they should be brought to the justice. And I'm now...
Yeah, and any Indian I've talked to sees like people doing H-1B fraud or whatever. They're like always like, yeah, prosecute those people, right? But you don't prosecute an entire community based off of a few bad apples, right?
Running for the Justice of Peace in Texas.
Justice of Peace?
Yes.
What's your name?
Martin Paretti.
Martin Paretti.
Yeah. I want everybody enjoy the life, but at the end of the day, we want to do it right.
My beef isn't with the Indian people, it's with the system that are allowing them to do what we are experiencing here.
Is there...
Yeah, I would believe that, again, if that Mark guy he's interviewing, Mark Palisano or whatever, his followers are filled with racists. Anytime you reply to Mark's posts, it's like a bunch of people telling you that you're brown and fuck you and like go back to India and stuff like that. Like I would believe you that you don't have a problem with the Indian people as like a racist thing if that weren't your fucking followers.
There sufficient talent in America? Do we need infinite H-1Bs, so to speak?
We do have enough talent in America. We strongly believe because the Americans landed on the moon when all of these H-1Bs even born.
To be fair, we did borrow a few Germans.
See, we got a lot of natural citizens also became
Americans, right? So they're also getting laid off.
Do you think there should be a strong limitation on the number of H-1Bs?
I am advocate for the
H-1Bs?
limiting the H-1Bs. India is a great country. We respect pluralism, and most of Indians, they enjoy the American part of the American society. And I know you guys like the Indian food a lot too, right?
This is true. I do enjoy tikka masala.
Yeah. If we turn away from God and the Word of God, if we worship these Indians, these Somalis, if we just give everything to them, willing to cut your own throat, we'll die.
H-1Bs are the scapegoats. The employers, those are the people who have to investigate it. You know, even in one of my friends told in Dallas, you know, most of Indians, they'll follow the practice, the caste. If you're not in the same caste.
No, people come to America to escape that kind of stuff, you know? Tikka masala is an English dish. It's it's a Scottish English dish. Scottish English Indian dish, I believe.
They will let you go. It's happened in Dallas.
So casteism is happening here
this
in
is
Texas.
not true, but okay.
My heart for all immigrant people, but man, we got to do it the right way.
I want to ask you, infinite legal immigration, though, will still alter the fabric of any place, right?
Correct.
Would you be a proponent of infinite legal immigration?
Don't understand it quite what you're saying, but yes, I mean, if it's done legal, if it's done the right.
Like, this guy filmed this, and now you've got like a bunch of influencers going there to harass these people. It's like they're law-abiding citizens, you know? Fuck, dude, I don't know what to say.
Yes, because to what I've seen, countries have been blessed when immigration is involved. You know, when you got different kinds of groups involved, doing it the right way.
Are they eating cats and dogs too? No, the thing that they're saying about Indians is not that they're eating cats and dogs, but that they're like worshiping demons or whatever, you know? My point is, it's absurd to talk about people like you're visiting a human zoo and expecting people not to approach you and be like, what the fuck, dude? It's absurd. Yeah.
Following the rule of law, I think it's a good thing.
But if the law has allowed Frisco's Indian population to go from less than 2% to almost 20% Indian in the last 20 years, turning Frisco into a majority-minority city, is the intent of these work visas bringing Indians to America to support our labor force or to replace it altogether?
Again, then what are they filming here? What is this? They're filming the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts? Like, okay, yeah, no, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Filming the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts here.
Of the United States of America. This is insurrection. This is the overthrow.
Insurrection? The overthrowing of America?
Of the United States government, which is why...
How? How is this the overthrowing of the United States government? What is...
people walk across that border. I can't go to Somalia and live, or Mexico. This is my home, America.
This is home to a lot of different people, my dude. America is an experiment.
H-1B visas, we don't need them. We don't, not right now.
Okay, if we don't need them, like... We certainly do, at least in the healthcare industry, right? Like, the way that it works with medical doctors is, you know, American medical doctors are paid more to work in rural areas, right? And still, none of them want to work in the rural areas, despite being paid more to do so. So they have to get H-1Bs to fill some of those roles. And some people are like, oh, why don't we just lower the standards so more Americans can become doctors? I don't want to lower the standards. I think anybody who comes to America to practice medicine, they are held to a very high standard, and Americans who want to be doctors are held to a very high standard, and we should not lower those standards at all. Like, I do not want somebody who is not as good of a student to operate on me. No, we should not lower the standards. We should not open more seats and lower the standards for, you know, potential medical doctors. The standards to become a medical doctor in the United States are very high, and we should keep it that way. And you know what? If it happens to be that the best American doctors don't want to work in these rural areas, and we have to source out and get the best talent from other places, so be it, you know? But I do not want to lower standards there.
Someday, but not now.
And now, as of late,
And you know, like these rural areas in middle America would absolutely fall apart if we got rid of H-1Bs, because we would be getting rid of all these doctors, you know?
2025, T-Mobile USA opened a global technology hub in Hyderabad, India that employs thousands of Indians while they're
Oh my God, he can't even pronounce it. Hyderabad, okay?
laying off Texans and Americans.
Hyderabad. Did this start over? Fuck.
Difficult translation over here.
Yeah.
They stopped that cap. They actually reduced that cap like years ago, like maybe decades ago even. So. When, you know, I'm kind of getting tired and I don't really want to stream much longer. So I'm probably going to end stream, but we should do it next stream. M60, because I have to get ready for other things. But anyways, I hope you guys liked my stream where I talked about Hasan being a tankie. And let's see, who are we gonna raid into? I'm gonna raid into I'm Really Important. Have fun, guys. Bye.